Hello, and welcome back to the Triforce Tactics podcast. This is episode 40, the big 4-0. We're about to have our midlife crisis as a podcast. Maybe. There are actually some changes coming to the podcast, so maybe it is midlife crisis. The first of which is going to be the days changing if you watch it live, but I will get there. I'm SpicyAppies, as always. Joined today by my fabulous co-hosts, Riley and RamKev, in whatever order or variation of each other they want to be
I'm
today.
going to change it up today. I'm rambling.
Wait,
Fair.
who am I then?
I don't know. Pick someone.
I
can hear like birds chirping in the background too.
The gears are just grinding like to a halt.
I actually I don't know.
Hi, RamKev.
I'm RamKev.
Sheesh. Nice. Okay,
Great
he is
start.
RamKev today. Imagine being RamKev.
Wow, yeah. I agree with Admirable in chat. I think RamKev could cosplay RamKev pretty well. Yeah, agree.
Yeah, not a bad take. Anyways, so a couple of things to go over today. What we're going to be talking about today is, it should be pretty obvious for anyone who, I mean, if you're watching this podcast, I'm assuming you enjoy TFT or you're a cultured person.
Nopers.
And you know that
play
Set 7
TFT.
just came out.
Nope. I've never
It's
enjoyed
funny how-
TFT in my life. Actually, I'm the last person
We
who
haven't
should
played this
probably
set.
say that because I'm the caster.
True. True.
I love TFT. People awesome.
So Set 7 just came out, which is Dragonlands. And you know, you might have seen the title of the podcast today, but or like in the thumbnail, dragging these nuts across your face jokes are going to be running rampant for a while on the podcast, like in lobbies, just in general. So don't take it with a grain of
Embrace
salt.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get tilted by them. Embrace them. Be happy with them, and just rub these nuts across your chins collectively.
Exactly.
Your one collective large chin. Yeah, so we'll talk about Set 7 today, just like early meta, because early meta is kind of crazy. Crazy meaning a couple different things, but we'll get there. Yeah. So if you wanted to start where we always do, sorry, my brain's kind of like super weird today because
It's too early. It's too early.
it's like earlier in the
afternoon.
day. I got a tournament later. I woke up late. It's just like the whole thing. But my week's been good. Didn't really play much TFT at the beginning of the week, and then as soon as the set came out, I've been playing a lot. I gotcha'd for Yasuo,
Oh, snap.
and I have never had worse gotcha luck in my life. I had to buy every egg possible to get the Yasuo. I think it was like 36 or 37 eggs. I spent like $120.
And then you get the rambling tweet. He said, first
He got
game off
one.
a pack.
Yeah, he got it first egg. He got his free egg.
Well,
So I
Rambling's
was
not making worlds. Used up his luck already, yeah.
Maybe the Ramblin's luck is never in tournament because all of his luck just is in gotcha. So if he went to like fucking Fire Emblem Heroes Worlds, like it'd be like a pulling competition. You know, he'd be off to the races. But yeah, so that was that. I've been enjoying the set a lot, playing a lot. I have a tournament tonight. It is the Aegis Esports weekly tournament. It's a grassroots thing. I'm trying to enter more grassroots stuff this set. So decided I'd kick this set off with a boom by hopefully getting out game one and then going to bed.
Nice.
We'll see. Yeah, that's my week. How you been, Kevin?
I've been good. I don't even remember what I. Oh yeah, so my sister came to catch the Celtics game. So she flew in all the way from NorCal, where she could have went to also watch NBA Finals, but she didn't want to get heckled as a Celtics fan. So she came over here and then caught COVID and had some pretty bad symptoms. So it's a big GG. It's a super big GG. But yeah, I've been playing some TFT. I think I actually have relatively few games in. I just played my 20th game, but yeah, I've been digging the new set. Oh man, I don't think I had a better series of promos in my entire life. My
You went
first
like 1
one,
1 1 1, right?
Yeah, I went 1 1 1 2 1, and it like I was like, okay, so what people got to understand is that like promos are like so big for not having to play as many games because you get so much LP. I remember I won my first game plus 275. I was like, holy shit. This is like the 5 most important games I'm ever gonna have to play in my entire life.
You know what happened to me in my promos is I told Ken about this actually, but I went to slam my like drag. So there's like an item that Dragmancers like spawn basically that you put it on a unit and turns into your Dragmancer hero. And I accidentally slammed a Sin Spat on my Xayah instead of making her my Dragmancer hero. And so I just like lost the game. I was like an easy top 2 and I just went 5th because she just kept killing herself by jumping in the back line.
Oh man.
And I lost my stat.
Yeah.
It was real sad. Yeah, promos are good though. Someone who has not played their promos yet is Riley.
My promos are going great. They haven't been played yet. I haven't played set 7. I did finally play PBE on like Monday. I played 3 games and they were all Kane because I really want to make Kane work, and god damn it, Kane sucks.
Really,
yeah, Kane is
he's really good in the right spots and he's really bad in the wrong spots, I will say.
See, that means he sucks because I'm gonna force that shit 2020. So like,
yeah, he's definitely not a 2020 kind of guy.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
That's the vibe I'm getting. But other than that, like, I've actually been having a lot of fun watching the chaos unfold. I'll say that. I don't know. I've just been vibing. Had a great Pride weekend. I have a series of great weekends coming up. I had a great Pride weekend. It was my first like actual Pride because suburban Maryland never had shit and didn't feel like going to Baltimore, DC for Pride because that's like a whole trip and a whole commitment. But Philly Pride was like right outside my apartment. So I was like, I have no excuse not to go. And then I went and it was a ton of fun. And I had a great time. I ended up at a fucking rooftop pool party.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Fucking fancy shit. I'm not not gonna talk anymore because it might get into TOS territory, but yeah. It was like a rooftop party at like the swanky ass hotel, and it was like a drag show, and it was a ton of fun. I did not do anything illegal, I fucking promise.
Sounds sick.
Yeah, and I'm going to New York this weekend, and the weekend after, I'm gone from podcasts next week because I will be in Wisconsin, getting a new trombone.
Oh, hype!
So
does Wisconsin just dish out like really good trombones?
The company that I want to get my trombone from, their factory is up there. And their trombones it's like a couple base models, but their stuff's super fucking customizable. So I'm going to like go up and just try out a bunch of different shit and hopefully come home with a new trombone. And by hopefully, I mean, I'm determined because my horn is 9 years old and it's holding me back now for sure. Like I can feel it that I'm actively fighting it, which is not a good thing for a trombone. So yeah, we're doing that. And yeah, so I'm gone next week. It'll just be these two. Wait, games.
That's so exciting though, getting a new instrument.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a lot of shit happening. And also there's potential stuff happening. I don't know. I can talk more about it when we get to it.
Gotcha.
Who knows?
Gotcha. So yeah, Jirachi will not be here next week. And then also for anyone, I think we may mention this last week as well, but the podcast is actually moving to Fridays from here on. So this one was recorded on Thursday, but we're going to be doing Fridays at, I think, probably the same time as we did on Thursdays.
I think we said 7:30, yeah, normal time.
Yeah, like 7:30. So it'll just be a day later then. Oh, it shouldn't affect the YouTube side of things and like the Spotify side of things too much. That depends on, I don't want to put words in Mateo's mouth because maybe he won't have time after, like, you know, I don't know. But it should be fine. Everything should be A-okay. So that's one of the big changes coming to the podcast. I guess that's the only big change coming to the podcast anytime soon.
There's from like, I want to say like 3 weeks in August. I'm also gonna be gone from podcasts because I got a gig offer to teach drum corps for like,
Oh shit.
yeah. So for anyone who like follows drum corps, I'm gonna be low brass staff at Raiders. It's like an open cost corps. It's not like one of the like insanely big corps or anything, but it's still like a good group, and a lot of my friends are teaching there. So yeah, it's always me. It's always me, the one who's like missing from podcast, but like I got a lot of shit happening in my life. And also I think what I propose and what we might want to do is have like a guest host on to replace me those 3 weeks. So it's not just 3 straight weeks of Riley's gone. So we'll announce that soon, hopefully. And yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Trust me. I'm very much still staying here. Just a few weeks.
There you have it. Yeah. So it'll be kind of a crazy couple of weeks here of the podcast. But so okay, my brain is not functioning. Like I said, I was going to try to find some pivot, and like, you know, I said the set's crazy. The set's fucking crazy right now. Everyone plays Nami. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about set 7 a bit.
The set's insane, dear God. Also, fucking Nami. God damn.
Everyone plays Nami. It's crazy. What a crazy time we live in.
Yeah, the meta right now is that the really broken units are, I would say, like the two units that people play the most right now are probably Nami and Varus in terms of carries.
Yeah.
Like these, so Astral makes it very easy to hit these, you know, these 3-star units, and then they're both just like. So if you hit Varus, I think Varus is the underrated one. Like people realize he's broken, but like I don't think they realize the extent to how good he is, because so what Varus is he's a sharpshooter. He's a swift shot, rather, not sharpshooter. Sorry, he's a swift shot, and he's an Astral unit, and you basically just reroll him with Allow. You like dual carry Siphon a lot of the time. You don't even have to. You can just play him whatever. But that's the
honestly, you don't even need Alawi. It's just like Varus 3+ frontline.
Exactly. Yeah, you play Alawi just for Astral and stuff. So it's very easy to play like the Bruiser frontline with him.
Like I've won a game because I didn't find any Alawis, just 3-star Skarner, and that was my frontline.
You take those as well.
Yeah.
So the thing is that Varus, what his spell does is he has 120 mana, and he attacks very quickly, right? Especially when you have a Rage Blade on him, which people run Rage Blade on him. So he attacks very quickly. And his spell at 3-star stuns the target that it hits for 2 seconds, and then stuns 2 more targets for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like he's dishing these out constantly.
And the damage does like % AD damage. You just put a D blade on him. It's like, oh my, like I think the most common build is like Rage Blade, Hurricane, D blade.
Yep.
And it's gross because
it's just
so
a ton of
easy
CC, ton of damage. He does it all. Yeah, it's so easy to hit. I had a game today where I was holding a Varus 2 on bench. There were 2 people rerolling Varus. The turn I sold my Varus, like the end of the game, because I wanted to hit I used money. They both hit Varus 3.
You fucked up.
And I was like, dude, come on, man.
You put the remaining Varuses back in the pool. You made it possible for them to hit. Because like 3-cost units, there are 18 in the pool. You can only get. There are 18, right? Or is it 20?
Yeah, I think so.
It's 18, yeah.
22 is 2 costs, I think it's 18.
Yeah. There's exactly enough for 2 3-stars in the lobby, and that's it. There's no more. So, you know, if you happen to have like 3 of them, and they're both holding on to like 8, wait, that's not possible. One has 7 and one has like 8 or something, right? Then it's done. You know, they're stuck. Yeah. They can't do nothing.
I was like, there's no way I get punished for selling this Varus at the beginning of stage 6. And then they both just fucking hit
and
Varus
then you
3.
got punished.
Yeah.
Like, instantly. The thing is, so, and then Nami's the other case, right? Where Nami's, so what Nami does is you basically just stick a little bit of AP on her, particularly, like, she likes relatively long fights, so, like, Archangels, Shojin,
Archangels.
You know.
You stabilize off of 1 Archangels, and then you just do, like, frontline items. It's so...
Yeah. Because what she does, she just heals your front line for infinite time, and like Silas is very tanky, so like Silas with some tank items never dies really if you have a Nami with like an Archangel, and then she does damage while healing, and it's just like it's super easy to 3-star. She's also Mystic, so you just get in Bar and Lulu and Trainer and stuff like super easily, and it's just like the board makes itself basically.
It's like you don't even have to think about what units you put in next, right? It's just like, oh yeah, I got a Silas in here. We put in more mages. You put in a bard. You put in any other mage that's not named Lilia, and
You
then
know-
your board's lit.
Right? You know what? Actually, I was thinking that the two comps feel like Varus and Nami is they feel like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh themed decks. It's like a pretty like it plays itself. Like you go to Walmart, like you could buy a bunch of packs, right?
I'd
and, like, make your own deck.
like one Nami starter pack, please.
Yeah, like one Nami themed, like it's like 12-year-old Kevin and I go to the store and like he gets the fucking Nami themed deck and I get the Varus themed deck and we each other like Yugi and Kaiba duking it out.
Yugi and Kaiba, you get like Nami is the Dark Magician and Varus is the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm 100% gonna start playing set 7 tonight because if the board, you don't have to even think about the board. Cool, up my fucking alley. I hate thinking about boards. Let's fucking do it. Yeah.
Minimum like 2 per lobby, right? Minimum 2 Namis per lobby, probably 1 Varus, probably 4 Nami players. Let's be completely honest about things, but minimum 2.
Yeah. And they will both hit. They will both hit every time because there are 22 Namis in the pool, which is why it's actually I've started to think that maybe I should do the same thing that you used to do with Katarina, where I say like if everyone holds it,
you can't do it. It's because that's the thing about Astros. It's like
they'll
can't
still
stop
hit.
them. They'll hit before you. But I actually think okay, so this doesn't leave the podcast actually. This is actually super secret. If anybody's actually trying to get success as a Nami player, don't roll for Nami 3. Look at Nami 3 and look at her numbers and compare those to Nami 2. It's like very minimal change. I've outplaced multiple people every single lobby playing Nami 2, and they've been donkey rolling on level 6 for Nami 3.
I feel like that's such a you thing. Like, because I bring this up all the fucking time, but like you and fucking set 5.5 fucking contesting my calves and outplacing me every fucking time while I'm stuck donkey on level 6 and you're just fucking pushing levels and I still hit the Hecarim 3 and you still fucking beat me. So like, yeah. I was watching some Ramblin' last night and he was doing like, fuck slow rolling, we're gonna push level 8 with Nami 2 and then we're gonna hit Nami 3 on level 8 anyway because of fucking Astral. So,
and the Nami players just die.
That looks like the way to really go about it. Yeah.
Also, I never hit Nami 3 because by the time I go level 8, there are two other Nami 3s in the lobby, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
You all just hold hands, top 3.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out if you can and or should open fort it, but whatever. I've heard mixed things.
There's no point in really doing it because like you don't need econ to hit Nami 2.
True, but also it's all I guess also item priority.
Oh, you need 2 components and then everything else is fine. You need a rod and a tier and then everything else goes completely.
I feel like Shojin from what I've seen, like Shojin helps a lot though. So like but I feel like it's just those two. So
I will say, okay, this is the second thing. I actually think this also doesn't leave the podcast. Mana items are the most fake items in the entire game right now.
Oh?
Because of Lulu and because of Zoe. And because of those 2 units, mana items are completely not obligatory. You don't need them on any carry. You can have an Aoshin, and I take a Zoe on my board over a Shojin any day of the week. Or a Lulu. Those are both fine. Those are both okay.
Like just for the attack speed steroid? Like with the Gen tornado? I see. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
I can see it too. For sure.
I mean, Lulu's numbers are fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're insane.
Lulu's
She's probably gonna get.
She's
gonna get nerfed. Zoe's gonna get nerfed. Nami's gonna get nerfed. All of the bruisers are gonna get nerfed. Everybody's gonna get nerfed, and then I can finally start playing reroll volley pair.
That's what we ready to say, Udyr.
He's the closest one. He's the closest one.
Okay, so when we of course we're B patching and we nerf all the Nami shit, Please buff Kane more, dog. Please.
Oh, I don't know if I want to live in a world though where King gets buffed. I'm scared that we live in that world.
I want a very small Kane buff. Not to make him broken, because I don't want him broken, because then everyone's contesting me. I want him to be good enough that I can establish myself as Kane 2020 and never get contested. Because
Wait, you could also just play Talon though.
Wait, yeah, Talon's actually good. I played Talon today, and he's fucked up a boat. Like, he's destroying everything.
Here's my thing about Talon. Except for Talon, four-cost Talon, I need to know the early game to get to that. I don't know the fucking early game.
Yeah.
That's
I
fair.
think it's like you just need to get the guild online. You can use like Diana.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
I actually think so. As much as we're talking about how Nami and Varus are broken, this is probably the most balanced a set has been on release, because you can play a lot of stuff and do really well.
Yeah. What people don't realize is that there are a lot of comps that specifically Nami that just take a huge dump over Nami in the late game, right? Like, there are so many comps that Nami is just incapable of dealing with. It's just that you kind of have to get there, and while you're getting there, Nami's board is like 7-0ing you every single fight. But once you get there, it's lit.
Just so hard to kill units in game. Is the thing.
I wonder how Kane does into Nami.
You have to have a QSS, otherwise you get Lulu'd.
Yeah.
If you have QSS, he does really well. If you don't have QSS, it's pretty bad.
How many units does Lulu stun?
4 at 2-star.
It's 4, yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
She's
you
insane.
definitely need a QSS.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah.
But if you have it, you're actually the matchup's really, really good for Kane if you do have it, because he just doesn't die. He kills everything. He kills the whole back line, and he ignores Silas at the end of the fight.
I think in those 3 games off on PBE, I feel like I figured out a lot, honestly. Like I think I know Kane well enough. Low key, this is gonna be fucking weird. I was sitting in a fucking park in Philly watching Food Wars of all things. They said something. No, and they said something on the show about drawing from everything is like drawing from your past. And then I realized what I've been missing with Kane. Because it's just like, I'm trying too hard to build a set 7 board when I can just copy what I did in fucking set 6 with Talon. Because I was like, okay, like play Lee Sin for Tempest for the fucking stun and yada yada. When I realized, just play 3 assassin plus was it 3 assassin, 2 frontline plus a Ragewing synergy bot. Because that's what I did with Talon. Like I realized just fucking play Diana.
Oh yeah, Diana's so good.
Diana's so good.
Isn't it crazy?
Broken.
Isn't it crazy how much good advice anime has for the world? Particularly when you're competing.
I know. Yeah. That's
I don't know.
I think I sent that to a couple Discords, and I think Euban's Discord was like, wait, what? Wait, Food Wars leads to advice about Kane.
Yeah, I told you to about the soccer anime I watched that made me really revolutionize my mindset again. In terms of how to get better at the game and stuff. Like anime just has some good fucking advice.
It really does. Yeah.
When you're into anything competition wise. I don't know.
So that was when I clicked, because also just having Diana for the extra body in the backline does so much work. It buys so much fucking time for Talon. It buys significantly more time than Tempest does. Also, Lee Sin kicking shit into the backline is really bad for Talon, I realized. Or Kane.
Yeah.
Fucking Freudian slip. I want Talon back.
I miss playing Hecarim also feels so bad because he just runs up and it griefs your you have to always play some shitter unit.
Just play Shyvana. Easy.
I think Hecarim's thoughtsing great, actually. He usually
doesn't he mess up the
if you opposite corner him, it doesn't mess up too badly.
With the Cavs, they still, if it's a far corner, they still walk up.
They still walk up, but from my experience in the fights, it doesn't fuck everything over.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The front line is a little bit closer, but from what I found, it's not the front line stays there and then Hecarim runs into them. Because how the Cavs targeting works from when I picked up in set 5, if So like the front line will aggro the closest thing. If that closest thing is the Cavaliers, then a lot of the time the Cavalier will just run up and their front line will wait for the Cavalier. But if that front line is aggroing onto not the Cavalier, they'll still walk up to meet that, and the Cavalier will just run into them. So if you put Hecarim opposite corner, and then their front line's not aggroing onto Hecarim, or not picking up the aggro onto Hecarim directly, then they'll still walk up, and Hecarim won't fuck with that. That's a
Pep-OG.
That's a Pep-OG positioning thing, yeah. Hecarim, if your front line is all Cavaliers, that fucks with Sins. If your front line has one Cavalier, that does not fuck with Sins. As long you have the opposite corner, you cannot put Hecarim as the main front line, or else he'll walk up. But also having Hecarim in the corner anyway, I think is better for the horses and the fear. So you just opposite corner Hecarim from the King, and then you're good to go.
Actually, I've been totally avoiding playing Hecarim on that board, but like he's the plague.
It's so good. Also, Assassin Hecarim low-key fucks.
I can see it.
If you get I've been putting the Sinspat on Hecarim.
Have any of you played Hecarim 3 yet? With the 7 or 8 seconds stun.
Oh, that sounds okay. That sounds like Alistar, though. In all fairness,
I played against it twice. So the first Hecarim 3 that I played against was like on PvE, I think, and I was like, I got hard destroyed because 8 second stun is crazy. I didn't even know they had a Hecarim 3, and suddenly it ulted and my board stopped moving, and I was like, what happened? Is the game bugged? And then it was like, oh, Hecarim 3. But I actually played against it on live, and it did absolutely nothing because I played Talon 3.
It kind of sounds like Braum 3, and that like if it goes off and then the right direction, it just wins the fight instantly.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, which it mostly won't, it just fucking sucks.
Because like Talon 3 is legitimately like Talon 2 is never gonna get hit by Hecarim 3, you know? Like Hecarim is gonna run up, hit your back line, and Talon's gonna be over here being chilling, killing everybody else.
Yeah, being about Talon, I think people. So again, Nami Varish, like the big talk of the town right now. Mage Aso a little bit in that discussion, a tiny bit still. Mostly just Nami though in that mage area. But people, there's so much playable stuff. I think Sins are fucking crazy. Particularly like in the meta right now, Sins are so good.
I feel
Diana's
like
absolutely broken.
Talon sounds like he'll take a fucking dump on mages because he just one shots.
Talon
he's really good.
Mages. He's super strong into mages. The one thing is, okay, there's another comp that I think people are like playing very little that they should be playing more, which is Shrek carry. The moment that we start to see more Shrek carry, Talon's not going to have a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like Talon has not a great time until like the frontline dragons because he just can't fucking kill them.
I mean, any sin into frontline dragons is just like, here, take my lunch money.
Yeah.
You got it. You got this free dub.
I've been playing Lee Sin in a lot of. So this is not a Sin thing, but like Idis, for example, right, is a very hard unit to remove from the front line, and if you like with damage, I will say, because the damage is the big thing there. Because if you think about last set, right, you couldn't solo front all the time because like Syndra and Singe were like very common early game units, and like people would play on their boards for a long time, and they would remove anything from the front line, right?
The only one like that is Lee Sin.
Yeah, exactly. So Lee Sin, there's one, and it's a 3 cost, and it's not very techable, quote unquote, not very techable. But the thing is, like, if I was playing against a super capped mage board, I was playing like Mage Idis or something. And I was playing like Party Time Corky with like a Yasuo T or something as well. And then like so I have like it was like a shitty board because I have like 4 Bruiser frontline, right? Like it was just a bunch of units that were kind of like worthless. Except for I was playing Orange, so I decided to tech in Lee. And dude, like just playing Orange plus Lee is the most broken shit a lot of times. It totally fucks over Silas, totally fucks over Idis. It feels so good to play a random Lee on your board right now because 2 Tempest is also just like an insane synergy.
Yeah, 2 Tempest is really nice.
Yeah, I played a game of 8 Tempest today actually.
Oh, you know the first game that I ever played at set 7 for PvE was 8 Tempest. I did.
How'd it go?
It was insane. Yeah, that when you see the lightning strike and it kills everything. It kills
the
fucking everything. It does like the top DPS. When you look at your DPS at the end, it's just true damage. Way at the top.
I was playing Axiom Arc, and so the fucking Tempest thing was just chaosing the entire board every single time.
Yeah.
What does Axiom Arc
so
do?
sad.
It gives you mana on kill. It's like
Yeah.
but for mana.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I was like, oh god, no, please. Just I had to go down to 6 Tempest so it wouldn't just kill everything. It was so sad.
I mean, to be fair, it's like if Tempest goes off and you get like one ult off with your Aoshin, you can probably clean up the fight regardless of
Yeah.
It
was just wicked funny.
Yeah.
I mean I think low key, Lee, not even low key, like Lee reroll with damage items is so with AP is so good.
D-Mancer Lee Sin. I've
seen that a couple times. It's
Gargoyles, Archangels, maybe like a Titans in there or something.
He just kills everything.
Archangels just feels good now, doesn't it?
Oh, in my opinion, Archangels is like, it's like one of the best in my opinion, it's the best AP item, like hands down.
Yeah.
Like it's good early game, it's good late game, it's like good on every single AP carry, it's good on Deja, it's good on Aush. Don't get me started on how good it is on Aoshin. Like, you know, you know how crazy that item is on Aoshin. If you put an Archangel on Aoshin, you don't need anything else. Like, you don't want the mana. If you have a good enough front line, you don't want the mana because the later it takes for Aoshin to ult, the more units he's gonna kill.
Yep. Yeah, no, that is a crazy item. Yeah. And like if you think about it, in the meta right now too, every fight's so slow, right? Like Varus wants to ramp, Nami wants to ramp. Like and the thing is, you have Archangels, you have Archangels Aoshin, for example, like you just like the longer they try to stall the fight, you're just like sitting like, there and your armchair like like do like an evil fucking evil laugh. Like I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. Yeah, so Archangels is just great. Ascension's really good right now too. Which is it's nice because in 6.5 Ascension wasn't good at all.
Oh after, like, it's too quick. So things are dying too fast. I think it's like a lot of it's just like how good some of the frontline synergies are, right? Like obviously you have Bruiser, but like Guardian, I think Guardian is probably the best early game defensive synergy, and like that shit gives you so much survivability. And the units themselves also never ever die ever.
Yeah, they're all just built to be fucking insanely tanky.
Yeah, like the fact that you have both Braum and Leona who already just never die, and they give you like, what is it? It's 35% health as shield, right? Yeah. And usually they're shielding each other, and it's just like, what is happening? You know, these units don't die.
Actually, I was thinking about like 2-cost degen comps, Riley. I feel like you could be a Lilia one trick. So I feel like you could figure out Lilia.
I thought about Lilia, yeah, because I was like, oh, there's Cavaliers there's a 2-cost Cavalier.
Oh yeah. I personally think Lilia is hot garbanzo beans.
Okay. I feel
you can probably make it work though.
I can.
Yeah, there's
okay, if anyone, let's be honest. If anyone's gonna figure out Cavs, actually, I'm not gonna figure out the Cavs board. I'm gonna let like Beppo or someone figure it out, and then I'm just gonna really perfect it from there. But also, like me plus someone else, we're probably gonna be the ones to figure out Lilia. So. Yeah, I want to figure it out.
You don't play her if there's a declaw on any frontliner in the lobby, because then you get that's when it goes bad.
Yeah,
you probably
It's like, man, I just because I tried to make Lilia, because she actually used to be really strong on PvE, but she got like big nerf. She got like big nerf, and like I tried to play her post nerf, and this unit like is not tanky. Doesn't deal any damage and gets killed instantly in a front to back.
She's she's gonna need a buff, and Silas is gonna be a big nerf for you to remotely want to play her as the frontline in mages, because I think you're gonna want to play mages with her.
Oh yeah, no, I like I never, ever put Lilia on my board if I don't have to. Like,
Yeah.
the Nami board, it's like, I take Silas 1 over Lilia 2. Honestly, probably even Lilia 3 any day. It's like...
Fair. Let me do a poke around, because, I mean, Lilia frontline is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think you don't really want Scale Scorn. Well, you could play... Ooh.
It's so good. Yeah, Scale Scorn
Actually,
is so
no.
good.
Yeah, Scale Scorn is nice.
You could play her
The
with
damage
Sins.
reduction.
Actually,
Yep.
no.
You just like have Diana with tank, like a frozen heart, and then like damage on with Lilia, right?
Yeah, I think you play like Diana with the Diana damage Lilia. You play probably just Kiana as the other one, and then you reroll Kiana, you reroll Lilia.
And you can play Lee just to make sure you don't get stuck on Declaw. Just put the Lee next to Lilia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay. I'm mapping this out. We're gonna figure this out in real time. So Diana, Yada,
Wait.
Kiana. I think you want to play 3 Cav with her.
So like, what is it? Just Sedge and Nunu?
Sedge Nunu. If you let's see, Sedge Nunu. Where's Nunu? There's Nunu. Probably want to keep 100 health is nice, but I feel like if you hit Hecarim, you can drop Sedge.
Yeah, probably for sure.
You probably drop Sedge, because this setup you probably want to keep Lee Sin. So fuck Mage, because Lilia is more of a tank in this setup. And
Wait, I
then if you hit Hecarim, you drop and then you can reroll Lilia, or you can even use this to push level 7.
It's Dragon Mancer Lilia, and then you move the items onto Nunu.
Honestly,
that's the key.
This looks like if Nunu.
I just want to play Dragon
bad,
Mancer.
right? That doesn't sound bad.
So
you just like you have like there's a couple ways you can do it for sure.
So I'm imagining you actually use this to push like level 7 and re-roll the 3 costs, and then you can get Hecarim, you can get 4 Cav on. So it's 4 Cav, 2 Assassin plus Lee Sin.
Yeah. I think it sounds good.
That's I think we might be onto something. And then that's a version of the Diana reroll. This is, I don't know if you play this right now. This is contingent on like some of the units getting buffed potentially, or like what units are good in the meta. But low-key, this board sounds pretty fucking good. Like, and you don't care as much about needing the units to walk up, because like everything in the front line becomes a carry, because when you have 4 Cav, everything's tanky enough that they become carries. So you don't, and like having more frontliners clumped around Diana, cool. If she has healing and IE, she's gonna melt them anyway. So this setup, you actually don't give a shit. It's more like Kayn, the squishy assassins that you don't want the front line like coming back and targeting. So then the Cav aggro doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Okay, I think we figured this out. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like
if Cavs are good, I have a new comp to run. Good to know.
I'm down to see you just test this and like Max should make it a meta thing. That'd be sick. I mean, the thing is, I think any board that has a Diana with like a potential, like Diana with like any items on her in it is going to be, You know, I won a bunch of games at the end of the set, or the end of the segment live yesterday, with just like Spark, Sunfire, Diana. And like she would just she would kill everything because she just
I mean that item combo on its own is like already insane.
It's insane.
So many units. Right. It's crazy.
Diana items are just like Infinity Edge Titans healing, right? Or like IE healing +1.
Yeah, if you want to carry, I think it's actually a lot of time better to so I've been playing a lot of Scale Scorn, and so what I do is I just I put like random tank items and like utility like Frozen Heart on Diana, and then I just put damage items like Olaf, like a different Sin.
That and then
because she does so much without any items, right?
Yeah.
The thing.
Well, I feel like she's one of those units, like, you don't have to invest in her to do a shit ton of damage, but once you invest in her, she really does a shit ton.
Yeah, the only issue is that there's this weird trade-off like when she's 2-starred, where a lot of times you have 3 damage items on her, or like damage items and like a little bit of healing. She'll often die before she gets her second ult when everyone turns, because she what will happen is that she doesn't get turned on until after her first cast, right? So she has her shield pops, and she has enough mana where I like that start time is enough where she actually doesn't get a full cast off unless you have Titans or like something like that. So it doesn't feel amazing, in my opinion, until you're Diana 3. Have those items.
I think Cavs kind of fixes that though, because Cavs are so fucking tanky, and you have so much frontline and it's distributing pretty evenly that like Diana's not going to get turned on for a while.
Yeah. I mean, definitely with Cavs, I can see it being good. I think
Yeah.
that she gets stuck autoing like because a lot of time what happens is she gets stuck in her shield for a long time, right? Which is why like she have to rely on her doing some damage with her auto attacks too. Because if you 3-star, which is why I end up really liking carrying a different thing. Because the thing is that the items on her, like let's say you have IE Gunblade on her, right? She's gonna use her spell. She's gonna orbs are gonna hit, and then she's gonna be stuck in her barrier for like the whole next 6 or 7 seconds.
It's probably like the Katarina build with IE Spark Hodge.
Could be something like that.
Or I guess general healing. Because all 3 of the healing items sound really good now for different reasons. So
yeah. I low-key think the best Sin board right now is just the Talon board. And then you have like if you hit a single pike on 8 and you have an IE left over your pike, you just put whatever the fuck you want on Talon and 1 IE on pike, and you're off to the races. With like 4
Pike.
guilds.
Pike, what a unit.
Pike is so good.
What a unit. That
Pike
Pike guy.
He is such a good unit.
What a crank.
He can be super bad sometimes. But if you have a board that complements him in the you don't even need Whisper. I was playing Pike today. I ran an IE Spark, like the Katarina build with no Whisper, and like this guy was just fucking one-shotting Yasuo too. It was disgusting.
I mean, what I like about this set is that all of the legendaries feel like pretty dope. You know, like
they also
all 3 of the dragons feel like super dope, and then like all of the legendaries also feel like.
I feel like Soraka is the one exception, but yeah.
I actually, when I played Jade, I actually played Decap Soraka.
Whoach.
And it was kind of nuts. But maybe it was just because the rest of my board was also super duper cracked. Because like the healing skills off of AP.
Yeah,
but I guess the main thing about Soraka, it's like the passive is huge. Like the health regen passive is actually like insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say Soraka. Sorry to interrupt. Soraka on a board. Like Soraka feels really good at playing a board for the +2 HP if you have an extra slot for a while, but she does not feel good on like to actually play as a unit on a board, except for Jade, basically. Which is why I think a lot of 5 costs right now are very flexible, right? Like Yasuo can be played on anything. Even some of the dragon, like you can just play Shyvana whenever the fuck you want, you're fine. But then like Soraka's like you put on your board when you want a little extra HP, and then you're like, okay, you're gone for Bard, or you're gone for some other 5 costs that actually does something. I hope they make her a little more interesting as the set goes on, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 100 health somehow and you get a Soraka, I feel like you plop that shit down instantly, right?
Oh yeah, that happened to me actually yesterday.
You're like, oh, I'm 100 HP and I had Soraka. All right, time to delete units from this enemy's board.
Yeah, so what happened is that I was 100 HP on like stage 4. I hit a Soraka and I played it, and then it takes like a couple seconds to cast. It killed the Nivea 1, and I was like, that's all I did. And so I switched out with Bard immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like if somebody, for example, let's say somebody's playing Dragon's Den, right, and you got a Soraka there. They have like 3 units on their board. You're gonna kill something.
The key to counter Dragon's Den is just to be 100 HP.
Exactly.
And hit a Soraka. That's the big plan.
Yeah. Soraka 3 though, that's the best unit in the game.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just
that's when having a mana generation item might not be fake.
Yeah.
So build Shojin just in case you hit Soraka 3. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're trying to say. Any other? What else is good? I mean, I think Itis plus like Swift Shot backline, just like it's like kind of like playing Alistair and snipers almost last set, where you have a big, or like Scion snipers as well. Like you just have a big body in front that doesn't die, and you have like 6 Swift Shot, and it's like the firing squad. It's so good. I don't know. I feel like Zaya feels sporadically very good and very underwhelming for me, and I can't really tell exactly what's making it. Making the difference yet.
Honestly, I've had Zaya work twice I'm like pushing it a bit because one of those was Varus reroll, so like obviously it's gonna work if you're playing Varus on your board. But the other one was with the Scorch Augment, and I was playing Rageblade Shift Gunblade Zaya.
Oh.
And she was putting in work. She was I also had Gadget Expert, which is also broken, so take that also with a grain of salt. But yeah, she was kind of popping off with those. It feels weird, like for like another example is that like Corgi, I feel like it's somewhat of a hit or miss type of champion.
Yep.
Like, Corgi Cannoneer, you kind of like his ability scales off of it, like AD. You kind of think, oh yeah, Corgi, I'll put like a D Blade on him, Rage Blade, I'll pop off. And like sometimes you play for that and you play the Corgi on your board and you just lose and you lose and you just lose every single round, right?
Yeah, you just can't kill like the Silas 2 the entire game, basically, or something.
Yeah. But like, I had a Corgi last game, 1-starred with Rage Blade Shift, and he was just melting everything. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I totally agree that like I feel like Zaya and Corki are so hit or miss. I've had like 2 or 3 Corki games where like he just feels like he's really underwhelming, and then like I barely slide in the top 4. And then I had a couple where like there's this party time game where it's an augment that gives your Revel unit 70% attacks when they kill a unit. Where like as soon as I 2-starred him, he like I had like GS IE Hodge or something, and this guy was just fucking pumping. Like the amount of damage this Corki did was disgusting. But the trick was, and I think what I feel about Corki is that he's very, very bad at getting through like big solo frontline, right? Like he cannot kill Midas most of the time, and that's just his thing. So I feel like the best way to play Corki right now is you
just put a lease in.
Always. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, you almost have a TK from early games. You just play TK Ornn, and then you always have a Lee. Because if you don't have Lee, you're fucking doomed. Because if like say you run into an Idis or a Silas, like you just can't kill it, and then you die. But if you kick it out of the front line, then
then they
start hitting big backline clumps. Yep, it feels super good to hit. So,
or
I think the key to Corki is
3-star the Corki, then you don't have to worry about a single thing ever.
I played against Zaya 3 today. That shit is the most overtuned 4 cost I've ever seen in my life. 3-star.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it yet.
It's like a full board wipe. It literally just feels like a 3-star 5 cost. I'm pretty sure 3-star Zaya is better than 3-star Shyvana.
I can see it, yeah.
Because it sends out 5 feathers and the return damage is like tripled.
Oh my god.
So it goes from 2 feathers to 5, and it's just disgusting. I literally couldn't do anything against it. I was like twiddling my thumbs playing this game playing a Swain reroll, and I was like, I'm gonna win the game, I'm gonna hit Zaya at 9. I wasn't scouting at all, and then all of a sudden this guy has Zaya 3 on 8. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. I feel like the 3-star 4 costs come at the like most random moments in this set. Like I am almost never ready for somebody to hit like a 3-star 4 cost.
Yeah.
And it feels like more so than like set 4 or set 5 or set 6 where you're just like, oh, this person, they're going for it. Sometimes you just hit and you're just like, oh, it's dope. It's like nice. And then the lobby just question mark pings it and like, how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I know Pandora's bench can help with that. Have you know what Pandora's bench does, right? Yeah, Riley? I'm not sure if you okay.
It's a reroll thing. Of course I've seen it.
Yeah, that was true. That was dope. I love that augment.
It's so cool. I there's a clip of Dax getting 2 3-star Dianas
that. Yeah,
he rerolls 3 costs in Pandora's bench and it gets past shop odds. So like, even though you can't see more Dianas in shop after 3-starring one, he just kept turning more and more Dianas into Diana or things in Diana. It was so cool. It was so sick. Speaking of Dax, we can get into some of the drama that happened this week if we want to move away from the set for a bit. Eventually, I know Riley was excited to talk about this.
I have thoughts.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, there's been this conversation in the TFT community, and I'm sure at many games that involve variances communities, which is tournament or ladder more indicative of skill? Is it, is the person who's rank 1 on ladder better, or is the person who wins every tournament better? And And so Dax, our friend Dax here, he made this tweet. Honestly, I feel like I feel like
unnecessary shit for this tweet.
He got incredibly unnecessary shit. I feel like this tweet seemed so like I saw it. I went by and I was like, oh, that's a good tweet. And then like it was literally like he just got hit by the firing squad.
It's because he got into the crosshairs of Soju. You know, and once that happens, it's fucked. You know, it's so fucked.
Because I love Soju, but Soju really wants to believe that ladder and tournament skill are the same.
No, the thing is, like, I think Soju's opinion on it is not as like, it's not as like, it's not as like one-sided as you might think it is. I don't actually, because like I remember listening to him talk on which was the podcast?
Hyrule Radio?
Don't Talk If You Don't Know.
Was it Hyrule? Don't Talk If You Don't Know. One of those.
He's talking about a couple.
We have enough. We have enough podcasts now. It just all blends together.
I remember it was. He was there with like Bryce, and like Bryce was saying something, and then Soji was like, "Oh yeah, I actually agree with you, Bryce, on like that specific point." And it's like, I don't think he's like that much of a like polarizing. But his language, the way that Soji talks for entertainment is like hyperbole, right? And when his tweet starts with, "This might be the worst take of all time," he doesn't actually mean this is the worst take of all time. He's
just being an influencer.
This is the worst take of all time. And because of that, Dax got like absolutely shit on, absolutely.
Yeah. For anyone wondering what the take was, it was a very tame take that like a lot of people have, which was Dax said that ladder doesn't matter as much as tournament. Like tournament results matter a lot more. You don't need to be the best ladder player to be a good player.
He didn't even say anything about tournament. He didn't even mention tournament.
I just read the tweet.
He just said ladder's fake?
It just literally says that being good on ladder does not make you good in tournaments. He didn't even say which one is more indicative of skill. He just said ladder skill is not as indicative of tourney skill as you think.
He didn't mention anything about tournaments. There's no word.
Wait, what is the tweet? Let's see the tweet.
Word for word.
I'm pulling it up.
Here you go. Yeah. TFT rank ladder is not an accurate representation of how excellent you are at playing TFT in a highly competitive setting. It is, however, an extremely accurate representation of how good you are at beating people worse than you.
That's a good take.
That's his take. It's 100% true. There should be no argument about how true that is.
That's such a lukewarm take. I don't know why everyone's treating it.
And Soju comes in here with a fucking baseball bat.
Wait. Let's read the Soju tweet. Can you read the Soju tweet? The Soju tweet is the end of the Soju tweet is just like
I haven't seen the Soju tweet because he still has me blocked on Twitter.
I'm gonna read it. Oh, I have it. Give me a second. Let me. Wait, why am I cannot find this tweet? Did Dax delete the tweet?
I got this one too.
It's still up.
Soju says, "This might be the worst take of all time," and then he follows with a non sequitur. Players that win tournaments more often than not can hit rank 1 on demand. I'm not saying ladder is everything, but it's different when hard stuck 1200 LP players say ladder doesn't mean anything. Don't mean to at anyone or anything.
I don't know why you had to put the last part. Like, hard stuck to 100 LP players.
Rambling?
Okay, you know what my favorite part though about all of this is? It's that like I'm like scrolling through the comments and then there's just like little spatterings of Alex M just shitting on him.
He's like, Alex M agreeing with you, Dax. I agree with Soju. Fuck you, Dax.
It's just over and over. Like every other comment is just Alex responding with like a "fuck you, Dax."
Like this, it definitely got like this got hit. This is blown so out of proportion, man, and it's crazy.
Yeah, the thing is, what Dax did is he touched a beehive, right? Because here's what it is. Here's what it boils down to, is that when it comes to players, like TFT players, right? Because a lot of the big names responding to this are TFT players. Responding either way, in fact, is that whether a tournament player is a tournament player or a ladder player, TFT players do not watch other TFT players play for the most part, right? Soju hasn't watched a game, hasn't watched Dax play a game. He doesn't know how the fuck that, like,
I mean,
he hasn't watched,
anybody-
that's not to say, like, this is, like, they shit on Soju for that. It's just, that's a thing that TFT players don't do. They don't watch other players play, for the most part. Obviously, there are exceptions. People who watch a lot of VODs to get better, like Ramblin', for example, know a lot how people play. Bryce knows a lot of people play because he watches Infinite.
Either me or Alex M probably knows the most how Dax plays.
Yeah.
Because I've actually probably watched more Dax than most TFT streamers.
Right. So, but in general, players do not watch other players, I would say, in TFT. Particularly at the top level TFT, players don't watch other players. And so what happens is that when you get into a conversation like ladder versus tournament, which one is in more definitive skill, is that players will immediately go to try to defend whichever one they think makes them better at the game, right? Which is why people who are really good on ladder and not as good in tournament will say that ladder matters more. People who are really good in tournament and not in ladder will say tournament matters more. And the conversation is never going to get to a point where one person or the other is correct, because ladder is indicative of skill and tournament is indicative of skill. But you can't ever really say that one's more indicative than the other, because there's like the sample size argument for ladder, but then there's like the less skilled players tournament for ladder or for tournament. Like it's just going to be that circular conversation over again of like these things that you cannot equate, these variables that you cannot equate, and so. And my take, I tweeted about this actually, was that the only way to know how good a player is to watch them play and make a decision for yourself, which I mean that's personally how I think. And I think this tweet is a good example of why that will probably never happen, because everyone just wants to I don't know.
Honestly, the best way to determine your skill as a player, just like roll a dice 6 times and look at the number and then put it on a bell curve, and like how far down the bell curve you are. That's how good of a TFT player you are, because that's how good your luck is. Good take. Good take.
I didn't realize that Setsuko responded just saying LOL. Do you want to talk about the caster take on this?
Setsuko is like the weird example. Like Setsuko is the one guy who is like a ladder and a tourney, like hardcore ladder and tourney player now, because he is like he's a ladder god at this point, like a pretty recognized ladder god, and now he's popping off in tourney. Like I think he was a ladder warrior before set 5.5 regionals. Then he popped off in set 5.5 regionals, and then he smashed set 6. Like he was placing pretty consistently high in tourneys. So now he is the example of both. So like him saying lol, I think is like he's the one person who can, because like he's very much as both. But
yeah, he's cracked a letter.
He's just cracked at the game in general. I think the caster take though is basically just agreeing with Dax. Also because it's such a lukewarm take. Like, yeah, there's differences in how you play the game in tourney and ladder. So like it's the same game, so there's strong correlation, but it's not necessarily like one direct translates to the other.
I will say though, like I do think this is the thing about the reply that Soju, like the second part of his tweet, not the "this is the worst take of all time" part. The the thing about like how I do think like most of the time, if you're like a top tourney level player, you can hit rank 1. Like I think this happened for me like in set 5, for example, or like 5.5, where it was like. Before then, I had barely scraped top 10, but I had already like been doing well in tournaments, and then I just decided, okay, I'm just gonna do well on ladder, and I'm just gonna like play the most meta way that you can, and just like play what I know is right instead of like doing other random stuff, which is what tends to, that I'm sure Appies is also sort of.
You're like when you try to do the opposite of Setsuko, in that like you were tournament god turned ladder god, and he was ladder god turned tournament god.
Yeah, I get that. Like you play like random stuff, and then you
approach ladder very similarly,
and then you're like, oh well, shit. fuck, there goes my LP.
Yeah.
Guess
You're
I'm
like,
not going rank 1. Time
Well,
to troll someone.
yeah. I think the thing is, right, is that so I think people often use me as an example as a player who's like I've never been rank 1, or technically I've been rank 1, but like it was like first a challenger didn't really count in set 5, right? Because that's like not like the thousands of LP rank 1. I peaked like rank 2 or something and like 1700 LP. So I've never been rank 1, right? But I do really well in tournaments now. So people are like, oh well, he's not good at the game or something because he doesn't do well in ladder. I also like I think it like the reason why we get that I don't think we can have this like there's no right answer is that how I treat ladder is very different from how other players treat ladder, potentially, right? Like Kevin and I treat ladder very similarly. That we just like to have fun most of the time. And then like when it's time for like crunch time, when I need like a ladder placement for something, I'll grind to that placement, right? Like I got the Challenger Series cut off, I got the Innovation Cup cut off, I got I got the top 32 cut off except for that one time that I didn't because I decided to play more and I just fucking went 8th and had to play day 1 of Piltover Cup. But ladder for me is a thing where like I will play it as much as I will sweat it as much as I need to, and then I want to use it for fun. And that's not to say that I think ladder is less indicative of skill than tournament, because like players are like so there's also the funny part about that Soju tweet too. But I think like Soju's very very good at the game, right? Even if he doesn't have the best tournament results, he has very good results on ladder in general, and that like he is very good at the game. He is objectively very good at the game, right? You can't really say that because he's not, because he has very good results and he has good tournament results as well, but mostly better ladder results, I'd say. And so because I take the ladder differently, I treat ladder differently than he treats ladder, right? And so the idea of like ladder being better representation of skill in tournament is going to be different whether you're looking at Soju or me, right? Because you can just watch them play and you can see that I'm trying to re-roll some stupid fucking one cost while he's playing.
Man, I just remember there's this one game I was playing Reroll Sage and I went the fastest 8th you'd ever seen in your life. It was like Titans, IE, JG with like 3 socialite. And I was like, oh yeah, baby. I hit 3-star Sage. It's time to pop off. And then I lost every fucking fight. And I was like, it's time to pop out of this game. But like,
I think what we do is like very adjacent to like morbid curiosity. It's like I see a line like, oh, this is probably going to go really badly, but I want to try it anyways. And then I do it. I'm like, oh yeah, this did go really badly. Like, who knew?
Sometimes you just gotta limit test, and some people are more willing to limit test than others.
Yeah,
that's about it.
So the other thing about the Soju tweet, which I think is funny, is that I'm pretty sure saying that like most tournament players can hit rank 1, like most people win tournaments can hit rank 1 at the drop of a hat. I'm pretty sure doesn't that like contradict his point, or like doesn't that work like against his point, because he's saying that like tournament players
any like any schmuck out there, like you play 30s, any schmuck can hit rank 1.
Yeah, you can go rank 1. You want a tourney? You're god at TFT.
I feel like in the like top tourney players, like that's not 100% true. Like I think it's like probably 75% true. Like 75% of top tourney players, if they wanted to and had the time and put in the effort, they could hit rank 1. But it doesn't work the opposite way. Like that is a one-way street. Tourney players can do that on ladder.
Yeah. You can't take ladder, like top ladder, and just like do well in tourney.
No,
like those are, and that's a good point to make. It's like if you consistently do well in tourney, I like personally, me as a player, from my perspective, I have no doubt that if you really wanted to, you could hit rank 1. Like if you put in like a decent amount of time and just like discipline yourself, like I'm pretty sure
that's the tough part. Discipline.
Yeah, that's the discipline. Like some people just don't like to do the discipline. But like if you discipline yourself and you do the time, then you can hit rank 1 on ladder, right? But the other way around, not necessarily. I would say it's like you can be ranked, and for various players it's different because like there are plenty of rank 1 players that do very well in tourney, some that fall flat, right? I mean, maybe they're just on the lower end of variance, but like I think like when you think about like a lot of the well-known tourney players, like Ramblin has held rank 1 at like, you know, during set 4, for example. And I'm sure that Ramblin, for example, could hit rank 1 if he, you know, played 2 times the amount of game that he plays, right?
Which would be about as much as a normal player plays.
Yeah,
he gets like super high elo playing literally half the games everyone else.
Yeah. You know, or like, you know, you can see it like when Milk decides, and like we all know Milk is cracked in tournaments, right? We know that for a fact. And like when he decides to, you're gonna see him at rank 1 on the ladder, right? That's a no-brainer. But like, you know, sometimes the rank 1 on ladder does not translate into being able to crush a tourney, right? It's 2 separate things.
Yeah, I feel like there's a correlation. Like if you can hit rank 1 that consistently and hold it, the chances you are good in tournament are not insignificant. But it's not 100%. Like Soju in peak fucking form in set 6 was rank 1 for 2 weeks straight. Did not do well in tourney still. Like I think it was not famous, still like God calling anything I do famous, still like the shitstorm around my power rankings tweet was when it was going into Zon Cup and Soju had been ranked 1 for 2 weeks and I put him out like number 13. He was like, I'm in peak form on ladder. What is this? And then he got 8th in his finals lobby again at Zon Cup. I was like, what did I fucking say?
But I do think like it's
a strong correlation, but it's not 100%. It's much less than a strong one of the best tourney players going and just hitting rank 1 on ladder. It's probably, my rough estimate is like 40%.
I do want to say though, like that, you know, if you are rank 1, like that's not to discredit it at all.
Yeah,
I think it's
none of what I'm saying is discrediting accomplishments of hitting rank 1 for 2 weeks straight.
I think Soju being a bad like tourney player is kind of a meme because like if you think about his like set 5.5 performance at regionals, he was like one of the best players there, right?
I think you can't Tourney Soju
that.
is kind of a meme at this point. He's not bad in none of what I'm saying is he's bad in tournaments. He's just not the best.
Yeah, it's about form, but like I think the main thing is like obviously there's I would say that like both have their merits and like, you know, I think that one translates into the other a little bit better where like if you consistently do well in tourneys, you're almost always going to be able to do well on ladder. And I think that if you're able to consistently hit rank 1 on ladder, then I think that if you're in good form, then you can pop off in tourney as well. But I think that
it's not
rank
1. I think it's our
rank 1 on ladder does not necessarily translate to you're in good form compared to the rest of the field, is what I'll say, right? Because there are like 10 other players there that are not rank 1, but may be in better form. One, because, you know, they're just, you know, they don't hit rank 1 because they're not trying to like win every single lobby against players that are worse than them. Because ladder, 95% of the time, you are playing against a majority lobby that is worse than you if you're a top player, right? There's no argument. There's no argument against that. Very rarely will you have a lobby that's even half, if not, you know, like half top challenge, like top challenger players, right? And so a lot of the times, like I do this in like all of my games, like, you know, I'll see like the weirdest stuff in my games, like decisions that I feel like I have a pretty broad mindset on like what people can and can't do, but some people will do things that I just look at it and I'm like, this is just blatantly wrong. And it's like, you know, a lot of the players in your lobby will do that because that's how ladder is, right? It's people not necessarily just taking it very seriously, trying to like optimize things, just like people, you know, playing TFT because it's a fun game, you know, they're having a fun time. And, you know,
half your lobbies, you got me fucking dicking around on Talon because it's what I want to do.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, when that's happening and, you know, you're gaining LP because of it, you can't really say like, oh yeah, Oh yeah, I'm on the top of my game. You see me fucking crush that Masters player. Oh yeah, baby.
I was playing 6.5 like up until the last day. I hit rank 11. I peaked out at top 10. Am I a top 10 player in the server? Fuck no, because I think I hit 2 challenger players in all of the last day. It was just all grandmasters and masters players. I was just beating up on these fucking randos to just climb infinite LP and hit top 10. Does that make me a top 10 player? No. But like, is it an accomplishment? I mean, sure, but that it's not always like, oh, just beating up on grandmaster players. How good you are at beating up on grandmaster players it's impressive and an accomplishment and does make you good at the game, but how much do you really value that?
Yeah, I think it's important, like, when having this conversation, and we talked about this a little bit, to not like right when we say, for example, that, or when Soju says that like top tournament players can hit rank 1 on demand kind of thing, right? That's not to say that like hitting rank 1 is less of an accomplishment than like doing well in a tournament or anything, because it's fucking hard. So I will say, I'll personally saying I'm a very good tournament player. I do not think I can hit rank 1 on demand. I do not have the discipline for it, and I don't have the like mental skill set like to just say I'm hitting rank 1 and just grind it out and hit rank 1. Right? Have
you hit rank 1 besides early set?
No, I peaked like rank 2 and like anything. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with with understanding that I cannot just wake up and say, oh, I want to hit rank 1 today, or like rank 1 this week, and then just like I don't have the discipline. I think I mean, I'm probably good enough on most of the time to do it, but I'm not good enough like good enough like at TFT, but I'm not good enough at the other set of skills that you need to do that consistently, right? And that's the thing that you can look at, is that there's so much that goes into hitting rank 1 and like in terms of like skill set, that's not just being good at TFT, right?
It's like telling yourself, I know this is good. Don't fucking buy that unit.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like I will never. I don't think I'll ever be the player that can just say like hit rank 1 on demand. And I'm okay with that. And I think like, you know, if someone wants to say I'm a worse player than someone else because of that, then they can say that, because I am worse at things. I am worse at hitting rank 1 than a large majority of tournament players. Like top level players, I would say. But I mean, they're right in the case that like that makes you an objectively worse ladder player, right? So I am,
in all fairness, but like as an overall TFT player, just because you can't hit rank 1 on demand, what does that even mean? Like if you can't do that, but you're an absurdly cracked tourney player, and we've well established that you're an absurdly cracked tourney player, then you're still fucking good at TFT. And hitting rank 1,
that's the thing, right?
Hitting rank 1 does require a specific skill set that you don't even get from tournament necessarily, like some of the specific skills you need. And
I think that's the key, right? Is that it's different, right? They're different environments. And so different skill sets work in different environments. And that basically what I was trying to say was that like there is, as much as like, there's really not this 1-to-1 correlation of like TFT and tournament and TFT and ladder and stuff. Like they are different. They're different. Like hitting rank 1 is different. Rewards different skills than like doing like being first in a tournament, right? Mm-hmm. And so both are incredibly impressive, doing well in tournaments and doing well in ladder. So like we're not trying to discount how hard it is or how much skill someone needs, right? And I think the thing is that like both ladder, like someone who's very good at ladder and someone who's very good in tournament are very skilled. It's just not all this like it's not the same necessarily. It is hard. You can't just say one's better than the other.
Yeah, I think like the majority of like level-headed opinions are pretty much going to agree with us that like there are different skill sets. How people value one versus the other is going to vary. Like personally, I do think if you're better in tournament, I value that more than like being good and being able to maintain rank 1 on ladder. Like, do I value the best tourney players above the best ladder players? Yes. Do I value the best ladder players that far behind? No. They're like just for being good at TFT. And that's what, when I put out like power rankings and stuff, the power rankings are the best TFT tourney players specifically. And so like ladder has less of an effect on that. If you're ranking the best just flat TFT players, ladder players are going to be up there. I just don't know. I don't know if they'll be number 1, a ladder player will be number 2 or 3 for sure. It's not that far behind in terms of just raw TFT skill. I think there's a decent chance Soju is the best TFT player of all time because he is so fucking good at ladder. That does not mean he's the best tournament player of all time.
I may unblock you on Twitter if you listen to that.
I'm not saying that to like get in fucking.
I know.
Racist. I think I've said that before. Like there is an argument that he's the best TFT player of all time, and that we'll potentially ever see because he's so cracked at early set. He has such a knack for the game, and he's so good at ladder, and he's able to consistently hit rank 1 every single fucking set, and he always shoots out of the gate early set.
I will say part of that is because Soju streams nonstop. It gets like 5 times as many games in as most people within the same time span. I'm gonna
well, even just you consider all of TFT's history. Like, I'm not saying Soju is number 1. I'm saying there's a solid fucking argument. It's an argument I would. Yeah. If you asked me to argue for that, I would be prepared to.
He's better at certain parts of TFT than any other player, right?
Yeah. Oh, there are certain parts of TFT he's far and away the best in the server at.
And then that's to say that like TFT is a very multifaceted game, and that just comes back to the ladder versus tournament conversation, and that like you cannot correlate them 1-to-1, and it's not that like one is more important than the other, or one is like, you know, one like being good at one makes you better at the game than being good at the other. They're both parts of the game, and you know, the best TFT player is probably the person who's ranked 1 while winning every tournament. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
Because they're good at everything.
Yeah.
AKA milk.
Milk.
Yeah, right?
It's milk. It's just milk.
If Milk tried...
It's just milk.
You know, I'm pretty sure if Milk tried all the time, he would be the best TFT player by a mile. Like, not even close. No argument. Yeah.
Milk is like the scariest player.
Oh, I mean, but I cutscene Milk today, so does that
nice.
usurp it?
It's the like
you get cutscene.
The unofficial world championship belt logic of whoever beats the world champion is the new champion, and then just the belt keeps getting passed to whoever beats who.
All in all, I think the main point though, ladder is fun, tourneys are great.
Kumbaya.
You just play the game and stop giving Dax shit because his take is not that spicy.
Yeah, exactly.
There are some way hotter takes on fucking Twitter. Like, goddamn.
I don't know why Dax got. Yeah.
Soju came in with this fucking wrecking ball, said this is the worst take of all time, and then replied with a non sequitur.
It's not.
Does not mean that Dax should get fucking shit on.
Dogpiled. Yeah.
You know what tournaments are fun though? Set 7, because the Set 7 tournament circuit just got announced.
Oh, true. We can talk about that a little bit before you wrap up here.
Yeah.
It's just the last format, but better.
Okay, let's talk through it first. So today is June 9th. Set came out 2 days ago, so June 7th. So the format is Astral Cup, which is over 2 weekends and is replacing the Piltover and Zon Cup. It's I don't want to talk about. I'd be here all day if I talked about everything, but it's like the semi-open qualifier. It takes place over 2 weekends, July 1st and 2nd, and then 9th and 10th. So it's in a month. Then Jade Cup is a few weeks after that. Mid-set finale a couple weeks after.
Which has a world spot now.
That has a world spot attached. Yes, exactly. Sheesh. Apparently, it comes with the caveat. Nature's told me that person has to maintain challenger or has to be challenger by regionals at regionals. Okay. Yeah. So like they can't just dick off. They can't just fuck off the whole set and then just show up for worlds. Yeah. No,
time to go play Lost Ark, baby.
They do have to keep playing. And then after that, Challenger Series is gone. So set 7.5 gets released. I believe it's 2 or 3 weeks after. 3 weeks after that, it's Dragon Cup, which is not direct replacing Innovation, which Innovation was like mid-set basically. It is going to be the same format as Astral and Jade. A week after that is the Last Chance qualifier, which is basically set 6.5 Challenger Series. And then 2 weeks is regionals. So everything is just set 6 format, but better. And I think all of our complaints were like tourney format itself and some of the timing stuff. I feel like there's still going to be debate over how many spots come from tourney performance versus ladder, but for the players that do qualify from tourney, I think that wasn't something people complained about. How people got those spots, like the qualifier points was awesome. They're maintaining that. The timing is better. There's not a tournament on the first patch of the fucking set. We have a month to learn the set before the first tournament.
Yeah.
There's
Imagine.
Yeah, I know.
We play on Nami patch.
The Nami Cup.
No.
Wait, Astral Cup would be really fitting then.
Astral Cup. Astral Cup is fitting.
Wait, we need it on the first patch.
Let's
can we move it?
Can we rename this? Can we call it Cum Shot Koi Fish again?
I'm down.
This one even
I'm actually
kind of
so
Where
down,
did that come from?
Because it's Nami. I just realized.
True.
And you put a tier rod
true.
on her. It's Cum Shot Koi
Oh my god,
It is literally
Cum Shot Koi
And
Fish.
she
Yeah.
shoots this cum shot from her wand, right?
Yeah, it's like a Cum Shot Koi Fish got rebooted like an old show. Like it's like Hunter x Hunter 2011 versus like Hunter x Hunter 1999, right?
Stop. So, and then because the first tournament's not 2 weeks into the set, there's not a month-long gap in between the first and second tourneys. So Jade Cup is just like, it's a few weeks. It's like a decent amount of time, but it's not insanely long. So like it's better pacing of the tournaments and better timing, and some of the format changes. It's they also have something, I believe, for every tournament where the top placers on each day get bonus points going into the next day. So it rewards you for doing really well. So like, oh, you got first on day one. Congrats. That don't mean shit anymore. So it also encourages you to keep trying your ass off, even if you've already qualified, because you want some of those bonus points. So
there's like
that helps with that.
6 games per day. You'll be playing. Like the 2 weekend thing is great. I personally am a big fan of the tournament being over 2 weekends instead of being crammed into like 1 weekend. That part is huge. You know, I think like a lot of my sort of complaints from last set are like, have already been addressed. You know, we'll see what happens when we log into Tourney Realm.
You know, I knew this was a good
working.
format as soon as I saw the RamKev tweet of see y'all in set 7. Like,
it's lit.
That tweet. Oh, thank God! I was so happy when I saw that.
RamKev's back. That means the format's good. That means they fixed.
Or at least they've made visible improvements, right? Because you know, the scoring is scoring is adjusted. The fact, just the fact that like we don't have to play on second weekend of the set.
Yeah, no December 28th.
Yeah, it seems a little bit whacked, you know. So this is very, very nice. Like, you know, the 2-day thing, the points carrying over, that's pretty hype, you know. You know, you're dealing with the fact that if I do decent enough in the first day, it's not like the last game is like a cakewalk. I can turn brain off, do whatever I want, right? Because you know, if you do well first day, then that carries over into second day, and so a lot of those issues are being addressed, and it's huge. It's really nice. Obviously, like, you know, the debate over who's qualifying based off of ladder, like that was a debate that existed. That's like a separate thing, right? That's like that's more of a not a clear cut, like you can make this type of improvement and it'll be a just straight up step up, because like people value those things differently, right? People value ladder, people value tournaments differently. So that's why like this determining how many spots for regionals are coming off of those, that's not something that, you know, Wisdom can just be like, oh yeah, we can, you know, people have an issue with this part, let's just fix it, right? Because it's not that easy, right? They can't just say like, let's just change this one thing and then everybody will be happy, because that's not very, you know, possible. I would even say it's impossible. So, but like they've made like very clear changes to the things that they can do, and that's great.
Yeah. I think my one problem with the points carrying over thing is that I can't go for the content tiebreakers anymore. So
yeah.
No, everything is so good. I am so happy about all the changes that have been made.
think they made a lot of like pure quality improvements, and then like Kevin said, there's stuff like you can debate that people value differently. I'm actually, something I talked about during my charity stream was I kind of miss the consistent lobby format that Dawn, Nightbringer, and then Piltover and Zon used, because I think having some tournaments where you know your lobby every time and can really prep for it is super valuable. Like you can spend a solid like few hours instead of just frantically lol chessing your opponents as soon as you know the lobby. I'm kind of sad that's less prevalent, although Natures did point out like every final lobby is you know your opponents and you can prep. So for like mid sets and regionals, like as soon as you know your final lobby, final day, you can do that. So it's not entirely gone. It is less prevalent, and I really value that preparation aspect. But that's a difference in what people value. I'm not like about to peep a riot because it's gone. So it's a lot of good improvements. I'm really fucking excited for the set. I'm really excited to cast, assuming I can cast more. So gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Hold on. Ooh, you want my current conspiracy theory? So if you look at the dates, the last chance qualifier is October 8th and 9th. I thought that weekend sounded familiar, and I looked it up. It's the weekend of TwitchCon.
Oh.
Now that I'm mentioning it, y'all are connecting the dots, right?
You're gonna fly people out to TwitchCon?
TwitchCon these nuts.
I wonder because it's 16, there's a chance they fly all the competitors out and do a LAN. If not, there's a chance they just do the caster desk in person at TwitchCon.
Whoa.
But that could... I mean, I brought it up and just told Natures, I know you can't say anything about this, but this is just my wild conspiracy theory. Just looking at
down
dates.
To not qualify so I can go to TwitchCon.
Pog.
Actually, because
wait, where is TwitchCon?
So it might just be the caster desk, but if it's from TwitchCon, please put me on the caster desk. That would be so much fun. I want to do that.
Cool.
I need an excuse to go to TwitchCon. B, I want to cast in person so fucking badly. Please.
Wait,
Please.
Where is TwitchCon?
LA.
I see.
Yeah, I lay these nuts on your mouth.
I lay these nuts. Hey, what's the new Pokemon? What are the new legendary Pokemon?
Oh, Koraidon and Miraidon. Hey, with it, Kevin. Koraidon these nuts.
Alright, and that's been episode however much of the Triforce Tactics podcast.
Yeah, we do not have any questions, it would seem, in chat. So yeah, looks like that'll do it. I guess I'll ask one question before we wrap up here. What are everyone's favorite units? I know you haven't played much Riley, but mine is probably Lee Sin so far.
My favorite unit is Rise.
Mine is Talon.
Actually, it's a tie. I think I like Rise and I really like Elise because I played a game. Cool. I played a game yesterday of Mage Spad Elise with Rage Blade BT, and it was it was insane. Cause like Mage Spad, she bites twice, right? And when she gets the reset, she bites twice. So she bites twice, resets if she kills, and then jumps down and perma kills.
I didn't know she bit twice on the reset.
Yeah, she bites twice on the reset. It's insane. It's nuts. Yeah, but I played that yesterday, and I ended up losing to another mage board, but I'm going to pretend that I won that game.
There you have it. Well, thank you so much, everyone who joined us live. Again, next week will be Friday, not Thursday. It'll be Friday at like 7:30 or 7. We'll let you know by then. Shout out as always to our patrons, our Patreon supporters. We have Happy Paladin Cloud and Nicholas Stroh. Super appreciate it. And we will be back next week. Yeah, Friday. Riley will not be back.
Yeah.
But Kevin and I will be here.
I will be on an airplane, so will not be on here.
True facts. Yeah, thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow. And what's other form of communication is there? Because I've used Morse code so far. I've used Braille, I think.
Yeah.
Radio.
Radio waves.
The paper cup with the string that attached to another paper cup. Whenever you listen to it from that, make sure to like the cup and subscribe. Anyways, bye-bye. Thank you, Mateo and Kevin and Riley, obviously, for being great hosts. They're co-hosts, and then Mateo for being a producer. I'm tired today. Goodbye.